Hello and welcome to the British Gymnastics Championships 2024 here at the M&S Bank Arena. I'm Janusha Francis-Reid and I'm joined by Dom Mensah.
Yes, we've got an action-packed day for you with some special guests joining us here in the studio and of course lots of amazing gymnasts, including the final rotation of our senior all-around gymnastics competition with our commentator Katie Foster.
So far in the competition we've had our Women's Aspire Championships. It was Helena Fink that took the all-around and uneven bar titles. In the other apparatus it was Aurelia Pello, Lily Shepherd and Isabella Cannings. In our Women's Junior Championships it was Shante Eva Manquar that took the all-around title, and in our Women's Disability Masters it was Lily Heather Maskell and Lacey Willington with those titles.
And over on the men's side of the competition, we crowned 3 disability men's winners. We had James Dowsey, Kieran Innes and Blake Gidley. And then in our under 18, under 16 and under 14 all-around competitions, we crowned 3 winners, Gabriel Langston, Zach Kane-Forsey and Dennis Scala, all claiming gold medals respectively.
It's been absolutely incredible. Let's take a look at the highlights so far.
Brilliant. And we can now hear from our under 18 all-around British champion, Gabriel Langston, speaking with Ellen Hayward.
Okay, I'm here with Gabriel Langton, the winner of the under 18 men's British title. How does that feel?
Yeah, really good. I mean, it's kind of surreal, you know, like British is one of the main ones, so to come out here, perform well, it's really nice, yeah.
And talk me through your competition today. So what was your favourite piece?
There were a few like good ones. Probably P-bar was the best one because I had a bit of a shaky vault. It was good, but like definitely could have been better. And then I went to P-bars and needed to like settle my nerves by doing a good routine, and I did that. So yeah, it was nice.
Well, it definitely paid off. So talk to me a little bit about your last year. So you didn't actually compete at the British last year because you were injured. So what's that comeback been like?
Yeah, so I actually had a stress fracture in my back last year. So it's been a long road back, kind of getting back to full fitness towards the end of last year. And then coming into these competitions knowing I had to like do a good job, the Welsh, English, and then obviously British today. So yeah, back now.
Well, you've absolutely smashed it. And you are from City of Birmingham. How is the atmosphere at that club?
Really good. You know, it's like great facilities and great gymnasts there. A few similar age to me, but then the seniors as well, especially like Joe Fraser. Like to see that he's done what he has with the same like coaches, same equipment as me, it like motivates me to think maybe I can be like him. So yeah.
Well, it looks like you're on the right track, and I guess you'll be watching him later.
I will, yeah.
And we're going to see you on Sunday as well. Tell me what finals you're in.
So I made every final except from vault. Like I said, shaky vault. But yeah, 5 finals. Hopefully they go well.
Well, good luck. And one last question. What is your ultimate goal for your gymnastics career?
It would definitely be Olympics, 2028 in LA and then 2032 in Brisbane. Yeah, it's a big dream of mine, so yeah.
Good luck with that, and yeah, see you Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Some brilliant displays there from all of our gymnasts, some really inspirational performances from the gymnasts coming up through the ranks here in Great Britain.
And speaking of inspiring gymnasts, we are joined by Beijing Olympian, one of my ex-teammates and best friends, Becky Wing. It's amazing to have you here, Becky. You were one of my idols in gymnastics growing up, and I vividly remember you being 9 years old and me being 7, watching you win the British title for the first time at the age group championships. You obviously went on to win more titles. And how was it for you competing in the British championships over the years?
I have such fond memories of the British. It's always such a great competition. Everyone brings their A game, especially on an Olympic year. It's crazy though, the last time I was at a British was in 2009, 15 years ago. And I think just to see how far the sport has come along is amazing to see. When I competed, we were at Guildford Spectrum, which was a fraction of the size of this arena. So the fact that the girls can go out there on podium, the younger girls getting that experience, the older girls getting to compete in front of all of these people is just so incredible. And I think it's going to be amazing for these girls out there today.
And obviously we know what's happening in the summer with the Paris Games coming up, so this British Championships has an extra special feel. As a former Olympic gymnast, kind of take us back and think back to when you competed at the British Championships just before the Olympics.
Do you know what? Just being here today has brought it all back. I was getting goosebumps watching because I can totally know exactly how these girls are feeling. There was so much pressure. I remember in 2008, there were a lot of girls in contention and no one knew who was going to make the team. So it was really nerve-wracking. And I actually think I was probably more nervous for the trial than I was for the actual Olympic Games. So I definitely can appreciate what they're feeling right now. But it was also so much fun to go out there and rise to that occasion and really just perform after all that hard work that's gone into it.
Definitely. And gymnastics is one of the few female-dominated sports. So obviously competing for so long as a girl and a woman, what are some of the life lessons that gymnastics instilled in you?
Do you know what? I think now that I've been removed from the sport for a while, especially in the workplace, I can really appreciate the skills that I learned through gymnastics that I use every day in the workplace. I think that there's over 90% of female CEOs who played sport, and I think that says a lot for the skills that it teaches you. And I mean, I could go on with the number that I learned through sport, resilience, teamwork, leadership, just to name a few. But I think really just, for me, the biggest one is learning how to fail and get over that, resilience, right? I failed so much in gymnastics, and I think in real life as well, you're going to fail, you're going to come across adversity, and I think I'm so thankful for gymnastics for helping me navigate that.
Some brilliant life lessons there. We've got another special guest waiting in the wings, but whilst we wait for them to come in, honestly, Danusha, this atmosphere, what we're seeing now in the arena, it is pretty unbelievable, isn't it?
It is incredible. There's been so many young kids around. They're all wearing capes with the GB flag on. They've got signatures everywhere from Niall Wilson and all the other amazing gymnasts that are here. And you can just feel it, can't you?
Yeah, we had a little joke yesterday. We were on our way out of the studio, and I reckon you were going to get stopped 5 times on our way back to the hotel. I think we got up to about 4. Was it about 4?
You were pretty accurate, I must say. I thought, no one will recognise me now. It's all about the next generation. But, these fans, they're pretty on it.
Super dedicated. And we're delighted to be joined by yet another legend of British gymnastics. We've got Olympic gymnast Dan Purvis. Dan, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm great, thanks, nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too, Dan. Thank you so much for being here. You were obviously part of the London 2012 bronze medal winning team. And in the Olympics before that, we had just 2 competitors out there. Still an amazing achievement, but in those 4 years to get that medal, 4 years later, what were those 4 years like?
Oh my goodness, it was a dream come true. Now the dust is settled and I'm retired. It's just amazing to look back on those memories, but a lot of hard work. We had great support, British Gymnastics, our personal coaches, us as a team. We were so close, and when we went into training, we were all pushing each other, helping each other, and because of that, I really do think that was why we managed to do something great and win an historic team bronze medal.
Brilliant. And just take us back to that day. Yeah. If you could pick one moment from that kind of day of competing, what would you say was your favourite?
One moment, I think all of us as a team, me, Lewis, Christian, Sam, Max, just walking out and just soaking in the atmosphere. And before we went out, I remember us saying as a team with Andre and Eddie as well on the floor, not thinking about medals, just go out and enjoy it and do your country proud and your family and coaches. And because of that, I think when we walked out, we held our heads in pride and passion, and then we're able to chase something great that day.
Absolutely incredible. Obviously, Max is still out here competing, and we've got our men's and women's senior championships happening right now. What are some of your predictions or routines that you're really looking forward to watching?
Oh, you know what? It's just great to be back and see it, and see, you know, it's a massive trial, isn't it? Like, you know, hats off to everyone competing. Like you say, Max is still competing, phenomenal. Just seen him smash his pommel routine, fantastic. And on both sides, you know, the men and women, they're so good now. As a whole team, Great Britain are up there, top 5 in the world. So, you know, whoever's going to be in that team are going to be looking for medals come the summer.
For sure. And just going back to you, what's life look like for you now that you've retired?
Yeah, so retired from gymnastics training, but I actually run my own gymnastics club, Dan Purvis Gymnastics, and that's been going for 7 years now. So it's great to still be part of gymnastics in my own way, and to see kids enjoy gymnastics and have a great time at my classes. It's a pleasure, you know, it's a dream job. So going to keep that coming, and to still come to great events like this at the British Championships is great.
Thank you so much for joining us, Dan. We are nearly ready for our final rotation here in our all-around competition. Over to Katie Foster to catch up on what's happened so far.
So kicking off this men's senior all-around final on the parallel bars, we've got James Hall representing Pegasus. James is a 28-year-old gymnast who is very experienced in competition, both at home and internationally. He's done just about every competition that you can, and he's known to be a steady competitor, and he's going to need nerves of steel to start off his competition on the P-bars this afternoon. You can see he's preparing the apparatus. All of the gymnasts like to get the bars just as they want them in terms of the amount of chalk and exactly where that's placed. And then you can also see he's using a little bit of golden syrup there, which the men do in order to get their grip just right when they are swinging on the P-bars. The men have different preferences around the type of chalk and the amount of chalk they use. Looks like James is a fan of the powder chalk. And now happy with that preparation. Looks like he is ready to rock and roll. Nice steady mount to the bars, pressing it to handstand with no issue whatsoever. And did well to keep that moving there, had a little bit of a uneasy action under the bars. Lovely swing to the single rail, and to use a little bit of strength to get himself back up. And turns out quickly and had to take a couple of paces on the bars. That'll be some small deductions from the judges, but a huge somersault above the bars and coming back to that half lever position. Surely just the dismount to come now. Smoothly turns. Has to stop in handstand once again. And builds up for double tuck with just the pace forwards. A slightly nervous start for James, but he certainly knows how to deliver under pressure, and a great first routine to get this title chase underway. The next gymnast on pommel horse, representing Huntingdon Gymnastics Club, is Jake Jarman. It's quite a treacherous piece of apparatus to start your all-around competition on, especially for the likes of Jake, who's best known for his floor and vault work, but he's pretty handy on the pommel horse too. Over the last couple of years, Jake has accrued an awful lot of international assignments for Team GB, and I've got no doubt that he'll be calling on all of that experience now to safely get him through this routine. Working smoothly on the single handle, really good work there. And all of the gymnasts have to travel up and down the pommel horse. He does that well, trying to keep those legs glued together. On the pommel horse, you want to see the gymnast working with a nice open hip line. And the judges can deduct if they're not seeing that throughout. But he pulled up well into the dismount, and much appreciated by the gymnast. A great start for Jake Jarman. It looks like we're ready now for our next competitor on the rings. He's no stranger to this apparatus. In fact, lots of people would call him the Great British King of the Rings. From South Essex Gymnastics Club, this is Courtney Tulloch. Courtney has been an exceptionally successful gymnast on this piece of apparatus. Back in 2022, he won the world bronze medal. And he's got some really unique work here. just exceptional in those strength positions. The judges are looking for the gymnast to hold those for 2 seconds, and he does so very well. Courtney has incredible positions. The judges are looking to see that the rings are in line with the shoulders. And in that top plant, showing real finesse there, lifting the head. Lovely work. You can see there's such a clean line from ring to ring going through the shoulders. And he really does have every trick in the book on this piece of apparatus. The gymnasts have to show a static handstand in their routine. And Courtney doing that beautifully before winding up into the twisting double straight dismount to rapturous applause from the crowd here in Liverpool. Well done, Courtney. James Hall now then from Pegasus, ready to take on the high bar. James is such a steady competitor across all 6 pieces of apparatus. This isn't necessarily one that he'd call his favourite piece, but he's still got some big work here, starting for that huge full twisting double somersault across the bar and repeating it again in the tuck position. Those big releases out the way. Pops a Kachev in as well. Really does have good variety and difficulty of work on this piece of apparatus. Moving swiftly through the different grip work and beautifully popping out on the top of that bar from that turn. Showing some real patience in this routine. Not panicking when it hasn't quite gone 100% perfect, but winding up for a big dismount, double twisting, double straight, and just the pace on the landing. He's certainly finding his feet in this all-round final, and it's hotting up to be a good one. As we enter the 3rd rotation of this competition, the women's artistic gymnasts have entered the arena, and we're going to be kicking things off with Georgia May Fenton on the bars. This really is a specialist piece of apparatus for Georgia. She has got a release named after herself here. Oh, but a bit of a struggle early on. Caught that release very close. Did exceptionally well to keep it going. And some big combination work here. Working well from the release. Down to the low bar. Using the shap directly linked to the pack on the low bar. And she seems to have found her rhythm now. Just needs to... Oh, goodness me. And sadly off on the shap half. Just didn't have the dowels of her handguards over the bar. It's not the start that she would have wanted for this all-around competition. Looks like she's okay though, just composing herself as she remounts the apparatus, and really just the dismount to go at this point of the routine. Full turn, kicks up high into the full twisting double back and safely to her feet, but not the start that she would have wanted. It looks like we're ready now for our next competitor on the vault, and it's none other than world vault champion Jake Jarman. Jake has incredible difficulty on this piece of apparatus and normally starts with incredibly difficult vaults, wraps in the twists. Oh, 3.5, but unfortunately doesn't make it to his feet today. It'll be interesting to see how that score works out though. It's a 6.0 difficulty vault. And there are not many gymnasts in the world that can even consider performing a vault that has that tariff. So likelihood is that even with the fall, that will still be a pretty impressive score for his first effort. You can see he's readying himself there for his second pass of the vault, popping a little bit of golden syrup on his hands. The men often choose to make their hands a little bit tacky so they can get a really strong block from the table. Of course, when you strike the top of the vaulting table, you don't want your hands to slip at all, because that affects the block and the change of direction that you can create. So just by making their hands that little bit tacky with a combination of syrup and chalk, they can get a really big block off the table. So Jake ready now for his second effort. Has to show a different style of vault than the first. Takes a big puff of the cheeks, then powers down the runway. Handspring, double front half out, beautifully done. Works hard to hold that landing, and a much better second effort for Jake Jarman. The next gymnast on floor is Mally Morgan from Club Cymru Cardiff. The Welsh gymnasts are always known for having fantastically artistic floor routines. Mally opens with a sky-high double pike somersault. Just a little bit of kickback from the floor there. Different floors can have a slightly different bounce for the gymnasts, and they don't get a lot of time to adjust to them prior to the competition starting, but she did well to cope with that landing there. And really showing off this dance, selling it to the judges before her second tumble. Straight front, directly linked to the 1.5 twist. And doing beautifully there with the squat spin down to the floor. The gymnast difficulty scores are created by combining acrobatic as well as dance elements, and that spin is highly rewarded by the judges. Having a lot of fun with this high energy routine, but also being sensible to manage her energy as she makes her way into the corner for her final tumble pass. Takes a big, deep breath, builds it up for round-off flick, double tuck somersault, just the pace on the landing, but I'm sure she'll be delighted to cleanly put that routine to her feet. Well done, Mally. Ready now to welcome Becky Downey to the beam, her first apparatus of the afternoon, of what will be an incredibly special British Championships for her. It's the 20th anniversary of her first British Championships as an espoir way back in 2004. I believe the leotard she's wearing is a throwback to that competition where she also had a selection of stars on her leotard, so a nice little bit of nostalgia for her there. Struggling, unfortunately, though, with that first element, and that's going to be really quite critical to this beam routine. Becky usually uses a free cartwheel into a layout for her acrobatic series and doesn't really have a backup, so that's going to make a significant difference to her start value. Unfortunately, she'll be 0.5 down on what she would have hoped for, missing that requirement. Next up is this spin, which has been relatively new for her. Caused her a little bit of grief at the English Championships, but no such problem today. She really seems to have got back into the swing of things. Becky's had an incredibly busy few weeks. She was, of course, awarded an MBE in the New Year's Honours and collected that just last week. But unfortunately not able to hold her side somersault onto the beam. And this is certainly a nervy performance for her opening routine here today. You can see that she's got quite a bit of strapping on that left leg, but doesn't cause her any problems on that dismount. Cartwheel into the 1.5 twist. Not a routine without errors, but she's got to pick herself up and find a way to carry on with the rest of the competition.
It has been such a good start to this competition. We started off with Max Whitlock, OBE, on the pommel horse. He's got a run out of counting how many Olympic medals he's got in total and on the pommel horse, and he smashed it, 15.5. It's absolutely huge, and that was just the start of the competition. We also had Ondine Achampong. She was the English champion a couple of weeks ago, and she started her competition flawlessly on the bars.
For sure, for sure. Me, myself, I do look out for a twister, so I'm a massive fan of Jake Jarman, so it was excellent to see him smashing out his vault, and really looking forward to what he brings for the rest of the competition.
Yeah, Jake is definitely a fan favourite and one of my favourites too. The judges, they're going to be looking for clean routines, especially on the balance beam. Wobbling and pausing can really cost these gymnasts. And the pommel horse for the men is that kind of equal routine to the beam, that really high pressure one. So that is where we want to see these gymnasts doing their best and not making mistakes. But we are looking at world-class gymnasts here, and it's off to an amazing start.
For sure, for sure. Every 10th counts in this competition, so we're really, really looking forward to seeing how it finish. Over to Katie Foster on commentary for the last rotation of these senior all-around British Championships.
So you can see in the arena our gymnasts are busily warming up for the final rotation of competition. So while they are busily working away, we're going to bring you up to date with the standings as we move into the final apparatus. You can see it's an interesting fight at the top. Joe Fraser currently at the top of the pack with 70.65. His nearest rival, Jake Jarman, currently in silver medal position with 69.75 and currently taking the bronze medal home. If the competition were to conclude now, Courtney Tulloch with 66.75. So a fair gap there between third and second, but can Jake Jarman do anything to topple Joe Fraser in the final rotation? So as we head into the final rotation, the last little bits of warm-up are underway. Of course, some of these gymnasts have competed across all pieces of apparatus and will be in contention for that prestigious British all-around title, whilst others won't have completed all 4 apparatus, but will no doubt have their own performance aspirations in mind. Of course, the implications of this competition are beyond just a British title. This event is one of the important trial events for the upcoming Paris Olympic Games. And so individual routines are going to be critical. All of the gymnasts are very aware of the selection criteria required and what performance standards are expected. So some of the routines in this particular rotation of competition are going to be very meaningful beyond today's event. You can see Grace Davis from Robin Hood just getting her final touch warm-up in on the bars. And we will be sticking with that apparatus because Becky Downey will be taking it to the bars as the first competitor in this final round of competition. It's a really great atmosphere here in Liverpool. It's an incredibly busy arena. And you can see the support there from the fans. They're being incredibly vocal, which is fantastic for these gymnasts. It really is like attending a World or European Championships coming to these British gymnastics competitions. The events team here do such a fantastic job of making it a truly world-class event. So we can see now that the majority of warm-ups have concluded. Obviously, different apparatus have different touch warm-up requirements. So on the bars, for example, the gymnasts get a slightly extended touch warm-up to ensure that they can prepare the apparatus just as they want it to be. And obviously on vault, the gymnasts who are performing 2 vaults in order to be in contention for the vault final tomorrow get an extra touch of their warm-up as well, which is why the timings are slightly different around the gym. It does look like that Becky Downey is ready to take to the bars though, and this a critical routine for her. We've truly got all of our fingers and toes crossed for her to get through this big, exciting routine. Becky, of course, has a huge amount of experience on this piece of apparatus. She has a skill named after her, the Downey release, which you never know, we should keep our eyes peeled for. And of course, a whole host of medals from world and European competition too. So the very best of luck to Becky. Mounting from the high bar. Starting with the toe fall, getting that requirement out of the way. And just taking an extra giant swing to steady herself. Beautiful work with the Stolder-Kachev half, directly to the low bar, back into the shaft, back into the Stolder-Kachev. She is doing a phenomenal job so far. Stolder-Kachev linked into the pack somersault. Beautiful floaty sharp half, back to that top bar. Winding up now, just the dismount to go. Full twisting, double tuck, and she is safely on her feet. Big applause from the crowd, big relief from Becky after what has been a challenging competition for her, a fantastic routine on the bars. Just beautiful work from Becky there on the bars. All of the gymnasts have to show a full turn on the apparatus. She got that out of the way nice and early. So we are heading over to high bar, and just before this rotation started, we let you know that Jo Fraser was in the lead in this all-round competition, and what a routine to have to finish on. The high-flying high bar, and a big opening combination safely through the first big releasing catch. Winding up again. Stunning Casina, and keeps that swing moving. Huge straight catch over the bar. You can see that his coach and teammates are all watching on. Oh, a one-arm giant, one of my favourite skills in the high bar. A real fan favourite to watch. Clean on the stoop, in and out with the pirouette. Tidy Stolder, and just the dismount to come, winding up. Double twisting, double straight, just a hop on the dismount, and you can see the City of Birmingham coaches there getting to their feet. What a comeback this has been. Jo Fraser has been on the comeback trail from injury for the last year, and what a way to return to the British Championships here in Liverpool. He punches the air, thanks the crowd, and wow, what a performance. I think it's safe to say that that routine will have sealed the gold medal for him. Such a popular gymnast here among the British fans, and a truly deserving individual after the year he has been through coming back from injury. He wasn't sure at one point if he'd be able to get back to this level of competition, and he has done himself and his club absolutely proud today. So calm, so patient on that routine. And just check out this dismount. Wraps in the double twist, the smallest of hops on the landing. Much to the delight of himself and his coaches. Great job, Jo. The score for Becky Downey on the bars is a 14.35, a big 6.5 difficulty score. And it's been a difficult day for her today, so I can understand that she's keeping relatively composed, not overexcited by that result. It's been a difficult competition for her, but nevertheless, a solid finish for her on the bars.
Morgan's got 12.25 for her routine on floor. And now for the top work, Emma Grace Casanova.
So the score in for Jo Fraser, it is 14.25. A fantastic routine, definitely sealing the deal for this 2024 British title.
Emma Grace Catalova, finishing on floor. Madam Taylor West on the rings. The score for Courtney Tulliver through 13.4. And now on floor for Huntington Olympic Gymnastics Club, Jake Jarman.
So here we go, Jake Jarman coming to the floor in this final rotation of competition. Now, see if you can count the twists in this, because it is beyond belief, really. Triple twisting, double straight, and looks like he's got glue on his feet as they stick to the floor. What a combination. Multiple twists directly punching into that double tuck somersault. Triple twisting double back. The spatial awareness that Jake Jarman has as he works his way around this floor is simply superhuman. Triple twist on a side pass. Most people would use that as a dismount, but he pops it into the middle of his routine. Showing beautiful circle work on the floor and great flexibility too. He's such a calm competitor at just 22 years of age. Of course, he's had a lot of experience at the likes of Worlds and Commonwealth Games. Lovely full twist into 2.5. Slightly deep on the landing, but finishes it well. Now, has he saved enough energy for these last tumbles? 3.5 twist to finish, safely to his feet. An exceptional routine for Jake Jarman, and you can see the smile on his face. After a difficult vault earlier, he is very happy to have put that to his feet. Well done, Jake Jarman. Okay, so the final piece of apparatus for Georgia May Fenton from South Essex. Heads to the vault, and just a Yurchenko full twist for her there. A good choice, I think. She had a difficult warm-up with the double and chose to play it safe. I think the right decision for today, after what has been a challenging day of competition. We're happy that she's performed a clean, safe vault, beautifully put to her feet. Just incredible work here from Jake Jarman on the floor. He is an absolute aficionado on this piece of apparatus. His spatial awareness and sheer power just work so well together. Has such good vision of the floor through those combination passes. Knows exactly how to put those incredible skills to his feet. A little bit of a wait for the score for Jake Jarman, but no doubt the judges have got to compute and calculate all those different twists and turns. I expect the difficulty judges had a far harder time than the execution judges there. Certainly not a lot to take off.
Competing on the floor, completing her British Championships. Well done to her. Well done, Tegan.
The score for Jake Jarman is in 14.6, a huge score on the floor exercise. 6.6 is difficulty. The judges could only find 2 marks to deduct, and that safely seals the silver medal for his performance in the all-around competition today.
Final medal contestant on floor to your 12 marks exactly on the floor. So we're in our final competitor.
So we are down to the last couple of competitors here in Liverpool. And it's going to be Ondine Achampong looking to seal the British title, the 2024 Women's Artistic British title here on the vault. This is a piece of apparatus that Ondine has really excelled on in the last couple of years. She's made great improvements and has a high level of difficulty here. We're used to seeing her perform a double twisting Yurchenko. Going through her mental rehearsals before she takes to the vault run. Certainly a very carefully rehearsed routine and one that she knows can work for her. Sky high, double twisting Yurchenko, just the smallest of hops back, and a fantastic performance all around today for Ondine. Just joking with her coaches there, maybe a little bit unhappy with being forward on her landing, but nevertheless, a fantastic all-around performance from Ondine and all of the team at Aylesbury. Here, of course, in the absence today of her teammates Jess and Jen Gadarova, she has done herself and the club proud as she heads back up onto the podium just to collect her chalk. But I think it's safe to say that she is putting a fantastic performance, and I can't wait to see that score. And there we go, confirmation that Ondine Achampong is the 2024 British champion. A 14.1 well earned for that final vault. And a first place spot on the podium for her. Well done to Ondine and Team Aylesbury.
And there on the big screen, you can see that score from Ondine Achampong is returned at 55.95.
Okay, I am here with our new 2024 British champion, Jo Fraser. How does it feel?
It's amazing, you know. I've been injured for the last 12 months, so it's it's weird having that. Now, yeah, it's been really good because difficulties with the injuries, operations, and now to be back out here competing in Olympic year, I think I'm just really proud of myself and the team.
How was it going around with the rest of your club?
It's wicked, you know, we train every day together through the ups and the downs. But, you know, I was really proud of us all. And when we had difficulties out there, we pulled together, pushed each other, and still made amazing results. I can't do this.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Jo, and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm here with Ondine, the Women's Senior British Champion 2024. How does that feel?
It just feels amazing, actually. I've worked so hard for this, and just for it to all come together today is just so good.
So talk me through your last 12 months. You've had some recent success at the English Championships as well, but how has training been leading up to this competition?
The last 12 months have been very rocky on certain pieces, especially things like bars. It was an absolute... it was questionable last year, but I think at the end of last year and the start of this year, it's really been like going up which has really helped me actually.
So tell me a bit about your mindset. Has that been something you've been working on the last few months?
Yeah, my mindset has been like the main thing in everything. I feel like physically I'm there, but it's my mindset that really like pushed me that little bit extra.
And it really paid off today. I mean, you were so consistent across pieces and you led from the absolute beginning. How did it feel to have your teammates, Jess and Jen, gather over in the crowd?
It felt so good I could see them every time like I looked up, I knew exactly where they were, and I could hear them as well in my routine, so it was just so good.
That's amazing. And Paris Olympic Games are coming up. How do you feel having that medal around your neck with selection not far away?
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel a lot better about myself at the moment, but yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for chatting with us and congratulations once more.
Thank you.
What phenomenal results here. Big congratulations to Joe Fraser and Odile Chempon, our senior all-around British champions.
And what an exciting final rotation that was. I mean, Ondine and Joe, they kind of had it in the bag, even going into that last rotation, but it was amazing to see them finish off so strong. Jake Jarman, where do I start with him? What an incredible floor routine. He took silver in the men's, and he really is just a phenomenal tumbler. I mean, we were talking about it, you were a tumbler, and you're even in awe of his tumbling skills. We had Courtney, he's known for his ring, so it's great to see him put on a solid all-around performance and take the bronze. And in our women's, of course, you mentioned our champion, Ondine. Second place was Ruby Evans. She came in clutch there with a brilliant floor routine to finish hers off. And first year senior was Abigail Martin with the bronze, so an amazing result there for her.
Brilliant results. And tomorrow we've got even more action. We will be live on BBC iPlayer and the British Gymnastics website from 1:15 or 11:15, sorry. So please join in for all of the action.
And we're going to see all of those all-around winners tomorrow, as well as Max Whitlock OBE and lots of other champions. We've got Commonwealth medalists, European medalists, world medalists and Olympic medalists competing right here tomorrow for those apparatus medals.
Brilliant. And here in the studio, we've got even more special guests, so extra reason for you guys to tune in.
And thank you so much to our guests that we've had today. Let's check out some highlights from today's competition.
Bye for now.